Preface. All my years of seeking the ultimate truth, I have come to realize that to experience the ultimate truth of the cosmos and beyond, all one needs to do is hold a pristine thought throughout their existence. But this task is not easy, as physical life has already sucked us in, and most of our time we spend seeking material possessions. Our personal self and desires have taken over, and in doing so, alienated us from our purpose of life altogether. Our definition of our existence here on this planet has been reduced to survival, just plain survival. In my moment of pristine clarity, I have channelized those thoughts to paper, and this book, Pristine Consciousness, has taken form. The greater consciousness awaits you through these very pages. Happy reading. Quote 1. Acceptance. A virtue. Acceptance is a known virtue of the highest order in the spiritual realms. The testing ground is here on earth, this physical realm. All of life's woes, pains and sufferings arise from the non-acceptance of what your journey here is meant for. Our non-acceptance is a vision about life we have created. It is the very little of what we have understood about it. It is therefore just a perspective, a view from a stained glass of our thoughts and ideas. Accept everything which comes your way and use the freedom of choice to learn and rise above events, for it a virtue you must instill on the path to realization and enlightenment. Much love. Blessing be. Quote 2. The Creator Vision. He comes in ways unknown to many. Shall possess the being of a mortal to blend amongst you. How would you know if that man who knocked on your door and asked for a piece of bread was none other than the embodiment of God Himself? How have you defined the carrier of light and His greatness, in your assumptions? I could imagine this perfectly created world with all different forms of life, the immense beauty and colors not being visited by the Creator Himself on a daily basis. Or could it be that it is not much of a mystery if we assume that each one of us, when we think of the Creator, our eyes become the window for the Creator Himself to perceive His word? Much love. Blessings be. Quote 3. Welcoming the Masters. Many of the known who have attained the true knowledge and the wisdom of the beyond have guarded the secret only for the worthy. Who then are the worthy? Can we consider ourselves so? Man in all his understanding of his domain is but a fragmented reality of himself. His will to define everything and every event limits him to his basic instinct, survival. Though survival is the primeval instinct, it is also what wears him down spiritually. It is the rising above the survival instinct. It is an including love and trust in all your deeds towards oneself and others which carves a permanent stamp of worthiness in the eyes of the Masters. It is then that the Master approaches, and he who waits the Master does so with complete trust and faith, not only in his teachings but in the ever-resonating love which will protect him and guide him. Much love. Blessings be. Quote 4. What is mine? A good way to deal with daily confusions and stress is to ask yourself just one question. What is mine? You will be amazed that after eventually answering all questions within your questions, you will arrive at the same answers all saints have arrived at, which is, when even this body leaves us at some point in time, how can one claim anything to be connected to it? Therefore enjoy this existence with this mantra on your lips and heart. All is thine, none is mine. Much love. Blessings be. Quote 5. Finite matter. Infinite spirit. In this universe of existence and experience, it's matter what matters most. But just above this realm of our known physical world, the boundaries are infinite. To comprehend this, one must become one with the Prit, the all-knowing. It isn't that difficult to become one with the Spirit, for our life force already is a part of it. One has to just become aware of this life force within ourselves. Look around, touch, feel your surroundings and remind yourself it is all matter, and your real self is not a part of it. Your real self is just experiencing it. Much love. Blessings be. Quote 6. The spiritual personality. Abilities define personalities. The ability to think logically defines one intelligence. The ability to reason and understand minute emotional upheavals defines one maturity. And the ability to accept unconditionally, forgive unconditionally, and love unconditionally defines one's spirituality. And this, the most radiant of them all, is also the one which transcends all time and space and nurtures the intelligence and one maturity. Walk the path. Define your personality as a spiritual one. Much love. Blessings be. Quote 7. A love beyond expectation. To love is most noble. Asking for reciprocal love is what mars the purity of it. It is actually a deep sense of insecurities, and therefore the need of knowing that the feeling so pure felt by one has reached the other, and if it has, it should resound back with equal force. But when one channelizes the ultimate love of God, he becomes the carrier of the abundance of love within himself. He not only has realized what feelings you sent across, But somewhere, because he basked in the purity of God, love, he was responsible in invoking those feelings within you to open your heart to the purity of love which transcends time and space, penetrates through your human consciousness and holds you warm within his shadow. Yes, you too have the ability to feel God's love, just as you felt the same love for the other. Love for no reason. Love because love itself is the reason. Much love. Blessing be. Quote 8. A dialogue of love. I have questions, dear God, which need answers. Why did I miss getting lucky so many times? Why was I given so much pain and suffering? Why was I always the one who lost out on love? My life would have been better only if you cared more for me, a little more, dear God. God answers, you are linked to one another like the metal rings of a chain which interlope with each other. Your pain and suffering, if felt by you, is surely translated to the other, and therefore the emotional burden shared. You never walk alone in this life, I say, and when you do feel alone, it's simply because the love within you is being dimmed by the happenings around you. But the loneliness felt within is never the exterior force, it's but your inability to fill your cup with love. That love which is always resonating along your heartbeat. My love, much love. Blessings be. Quote 9. The time is now. How many have realized that time exists within time? A distant memory of your past can stir similar emotions felt then if reflected upon, or a feeling of great love if imagined upon correctly. Our precious self are capable of so much. Our determination and conviction is all what is needed to turn the tides in our favor. So where do you begin, one asks? Right here, right now, in the grand chamber of knowledge. In that dusty book called Experience, which was kept away on the last shelf of your conscious mind. Jog your memory or use your imagination. You are always above the event. Much love. Blessings be. Quote 10. Existence. I have questioned everything and yet found no answers to a many. I have believed in much too much, but still have found no mental comfort. I have done what must be done to all my capabilities, but yet there is a void within my being. Why? I ponder while I gaze at the sunset. Why must it all end one day? While the blanket of darkness envelops the evening sky, the twinkling stars further my inquisitiveness. Where do I really come from? When did I really come into existence? Then is when the deep echoes of my voice consume my entire being, and it says I have not entered this existence by sheer chance, but just like the stars and the moon above by a definite design. If I didn't exist, neither would this universe around. Quote 11. The child within. I have smiled at those paper boats which floated on the rainy water puddles, and waved a goodbye to the distant aircraft too. When did I lose my true innocence to intelligence, I wonder? Was it when the loveliness of a tender heart and the honesty of my child within got compromised, when intelligence defined pride? Or when my little wishes were blown away with stark realities which people called life? All in all, I don't search for my desires to be fulfilled anymore, but I search for that contented child within. The child that attaches its true identity to simple innocence and pure love. Much love. Blessings be. Quote 12. The selfless divinity within. Our human existence is a true lesson of transformation from the selfish to the selfless. Every delayed action towards the selfless state of consciousness binds us in the drudgery, repeated torture. Our sufferings, be these mental, emotional or physical, have their roots so deep in the delayed action of our selfless state. It's more like a due date payment not made. Evolution in the spiritual sense is finding your divinity. This is possible only and only when one practices being selfless daily. All is his, none is ours. Much love. Blessings be. Quote 13. While you were talking, 1. To understand the world around us, most of us begin life by asking questions about things, or why the world is the way it is, where we talk to open our understanding, and this is the best talk one should indulge in. Books help, sometimes an educational program, and the most beneficial a close association with evolved teachers, masters and guides. 2. Where we impart knowledge. All of us, each one of us has something to teach for our experiences which have made us gain a wealth of knowledge pertaining to what we do, or are doing. Mind you, it is not an easy type of talk, for such talk can take you down an ego-sparring lane. So impart knowledge only and only when asked. 3. Expressing yourself and talking about others. This is one of the most common and spiritually weakest talk one indulges in, showing how disgusted you are about situations, complaining, and talking about others. Even listening to what others feel about you or other people or situations. Basically, if it is not gaining knowledge or imparting knowledge, Every other category falls in this talk. And isn't it strange that it is this very talk which robs us from finding peace and balance within? So here are the 3 types of talk. Be wise in choosing the type you should indulge in. We have only that many hours attached to our lives, and talk is an important facet of life and living. Much love, blessings be. Quote 14. The mental fast. Have nothing to say sometimes, for only in silence will you absorb the real happenings around you. For every time we pass a judgment or express a thought to another, the interaction itself occupies precious self-analytical time. Like a mental fast, give yourself silence and unlock the hidden truths about yourself. Much love, silence be. Quote 15. About balance. A walk on a tightrope with balance beam on your hand is best compared to seeking pure happiness and focus and living this life to its fullest. Either side of the balance beam has a quality, namely optimism and pessimism. And if either one gets your attention for too long, you will lose your focus and fall off the rope of pure happiness. Take a step at a time. Weigh the pros and cons. It's the neutral path which will help you get there. There never are shortcuts, only illusions of them beneath the tightrope you walk on called life. Much love, blessings be. Quote 16. The true being. We've been the air one breathes. We've been the fire that heats. We've been the seas that tide, and we've been that majestic mountain too. The element to nurture is the 5th one in line, for which we have embodied the shell of man. But wait, what do you know about the 5th element called love? Ask yourself in your solitude, is it your reason to find it in another, or a journey to realize it and become love itself, the pure expression of your true being? The consciousness of God is to be realized, and only through your true being. It is said, you've crossed all the elements as a consciousness and now awaken that which never slept, your true being. Much love, blessings be. Quote 17. Anger. That all-encompassing anger, that which controls your being, that negative force which you deem as a part of your nature, is nothing more than fooling you to believing it's okay. It's okay, lose it. It's okay to vent it out. But here is what I like to express. It's never okay. And it will never be. Anger will consume you. That the way it works, it starts at a level, then it roots itself on a firmer ground within your consciousness, and then it wears deceptive clothing like pride and sometimes status. It makes you believe that you have the right to get angry. Though getting angry is common phenomena in all, it's also a subconscious trigger for depression, and that is why one has to understand it. You need not control anger, but actually just look out for the things which trigger it, and those things which do, try and manage them. If you can't manage them, avoidance is the best way out. More later, be at peace. Quote 18. The driver's seat. You have no right to feel bad for yourself or cry yourself in self-pity. If your analytical mind has managed to drown your being beyond reason, surely it is not doing a good job for you. People, problems, and situations which bring you down will always exist, but the person in your driving seat, who makes you think the way you do, should not do such a bad job as to bring down your self-confidence. Remove this lousy employee and replace it with your true identity. That which walks the path of purity and faith. That which has no ulterior motive to entertain your being with fresh positive thoughts. That who loves you first. Cheer up and spread happiness around. Much love, blessings be. Quote 19. Vibrations. The basic fabric of this universe and our physical body are atoms. Something which you'll have learned in school. And the basic fabric of atoms rests on a vibrational charge. Depending on the rate they vibrate determines their ability to form molecular structures. Water, air we breathe, matter we touch, even our own skin are molecules. The point here what I am making is that every atom depends on vibration. The vibration which is in total symphony and harmony is that of love, that which can't be structured into atoms or molecules, only felt. And that feeling, my friends, is what works wonders for our being in totality. Increase the love quotient in your lives. The only way it comes back to you is when you give it out to the world and universe around. Think about this. Much love. Quote 20. True freedom. I was asked today when in conversation with a person about the meaning of true freedom. The word freedom by itself means different things to different mindsets. Freedom to choose and be responsible for the choices you make have found popular acceptance among societies across the world. But true freedom is a little known something, often confused with the word freedom itself. True freedom is a state where you belong to no one but yourself. No belief in anything controls you. Success or failures have no outcome mentally or emotionally for you. You respect all others but never get carried away in their emotional bonding with you. You can be alone and never feel alone because you will constantly be basking in the glory of God and tenderness, Love and compassion are not things you have to strive for, as these are the outcome of being in a state of true freedom in itself. Much love, blessings be. Quote 21. Inspiration. Inspiration is one side of an equation. Friends, teachers, family, famous personalities, and sometimes even books and knowledge about great men who have walked this planet inspire us. But inspiration is just half of the conquest, half of the effort. Inspiration needs to form the complete circle where you find the reason behind everything you do, everything you stand for or believe in. The other side of the equation is finding the creative force in you which by itself inspires you, motivates you to achieve, not just to succeed in what you strive for, but motivates you beyond reason to find the truth behind this illusion of life. And this striving to seek, by itself, is a deep calling of your soul to unite with the great consciousness God, to unleash your creative self. Start believing in yourself. Self-inspiration, a path to enlightenment. Much love, blessing be. Quote 22. The true master, the external image, the followers that follow, the publicity which highlights, are all for the making of a false guru. He who inspires, he who truly guides, shall not possess powers to change your destiny, but awaken that which is asleep within you. He might just be among you, camouflaged like the dewdrop which sits on a blade of grass unnoticed. Take that walk through the garden of life, with the simple knowledge that he who knows the truth will not reveal it, but instead will guide you to experience it for yourself. Much love, blessings be. Quote 23. The protection. The other day I was feeling low and I didn't know why. I walked around in self-pity. I walked alone in self-doubt. My actions were fine, my intentions too. So why the dissatisfaction? Why the anguish? It's often said when one awareness is low, and a negative emotional comment from another reaches your ear, though not necessarily directed towards you, one tends to absorb it subconsciously, and that event starts to play out itself, bringing you down. If one has his awareness 24/7 pointed to his higher self, seldom shall such an event shall occur. It's not necessarily that God helped you out, but your constant quest to seek him which protected you from the dissatisfaction within. Much love, blessings be. Quote 24. Love and life. I'm sure most of us have asked these questions. Why are people who are in our lives there? Why do they come in our lives? Why do they leave us? Is it our choice, or is it theirs, or is it by the grand design called destiny? Many popular books have been written on this, many views exchanged, but in reality all these questions arise from the word attachment, a function of the ego. Being attached to someone is just a way of life. It is an expression of love. Or is it? In this way of life you too have to find a way to your destiny, your ultimate calling, the calling to self-realization, paving a way for God realization. Be assured that all who enter or leave our lives do so to shape our outlooks, our viewpoints, our emotions, our understanding, and that is what is required, not the person in question but the event, the residual effect from the association with the person. All of these people, whether you love them or not, are like little gears in a clock, whose main purpose is to move the seconds, minutes and hours arms. Life is surely designed to help you open up to a consciousness greater than you can conceive now in a human form. So till then, go with the flow. Love and live to your fullest. Much love, blessings be. Quote 25. The unblocking of God energy, the kindest of them all, the one with benevolence in every action, purity in his heart and love in each gaze he sets upon the creatures of this living planet, needs nothing to prove his connection with the Almighty. The Almighty has already taken over his being and is provoking his each thought to manifest in the upliftment of his fellow beings. The supreme energy is that which flows in each and every living creature and gives it life, and can only be dimmed by the mentality one possesses. So work towards kindness in your actions, in your words and in your approach to others, for it might just unlock a vision you have never experienced yet, that of the Supreme Being channelizing his power through you. Much love, blessings be. Quote 26. Rise above doubt. A little belief, a little spark of conviction in God's love for you will save you the doubt and the corresponding mental agony of evaluating everything about it. Before you even realized it, he gave you parents to take care of you. By the time you grew up, he had someone already destined to walk alongside with you. Recognizing that person was your prerogative as he blessed you with freedom too, and eventually he will also receive you with open arms when you reach his home. Trust him above all else. He may not speak your specific language, but he always does speak the universal language of everlasting love and compassion. So hold no boundaries, no reservations, no limitations, no assimilations, no prejudice, and no fear. Be brave and just open your heart to love. Much love. Blessings be. Quote 27. The wonder of now. Your inability to recognize the illusion of time is commonly referred as boredom. Beware of it, for in its garb is actually the gratification of your senses hidden. Each of your senses has twin abilities, that of gratification and the other of wonder and awe. Think of it. You actually walk and interact with everything around that has been put through some source at some point just for this eternal moment called now. Becoming aware of this now via your senses will spark wonder and awe in all His creation. God is everywhere, even in your breath. Much love. Blessings be. Quote 28. I love you. If I were only the ocean I would command the tides in your favor. If I were only the wind I would sculpt the mountain ranges in your image. If I were only the fire I would burn the ultimate desire of love in your heart. If I were only the earth you stood on I would record your every gracious footprint. But I chose to embody you too, so I can see what you see, to feel what you feel, experience what you experience. I am in you as much as you are in me. So don't question my love for you as your existence. It is in itself the mark of my love for you. Signed, God Almighty. Quote 29. The nature of the quest. Bring me the thirst. Take away the water. Give to me the coal so I can set my foot on it. I fear not the pain and suffering of bodily nature, for I give not heed to my limited knowledge. I speak to you, O great consciousness. Call it a prayer from my soul if you must. I have surrendered my will unto you, for in my heart I have felt your presence. I therefore request, O great divine, help me keep my spirit heart open. Help me awaken the spiritual love to do so. I shall be by your side and channel your divinity through eternity. Signed, a true seeker. Quote 30. It will happen that one moment, that misjudgment, is what it took to change everything which came about because of it. One will never know or even understand the implications of one own action, it is said, till the outcome or event comes to focus. Do you know that even this post that you are reading has taken up some of your time from the universe, and delayed an action which you might have been thinking of undertaking, and which in turn would precede another action, and so on? Not that you might have lost time, but possibly might have delayed your time to a favorable condition. So here are the dynamics. Let it go if things don't work out according to you. The universe knows best. Much love. Blessings be. Quote 31. Conquest of fear. Dealing with fear is actually what compromises most of our valuable time. Sometimes just understanding what you may achieve when you conquer fear helps in facing life's most challenging times. Here is another wonderful story I like to share with regard to fear. In the Middle Ages, when trade started depending on sea routes, most trade routes used something called horizon navigation. As long as they could see land on the horizon, that was the distance they would sail out to the sea. Remember, it was the same time where many people believed the earth was flat, and one would at some point fall off the end. At this time there were few sailors who conquered fear and left horizon navigation and ventured deeper into the unknown sea, where there would be no land in sight on the horizon. The courage, the fearless approach and the faith is what finally got them to discover new lands and pastures. Think about it, if they didn't have the courage to face fear, or when their ship was rocking in those mammoth storms, or they lost hope and decided to turn back, the fate of mankind would have been different. You too, the creatures of God, must face uncertainties and fears, because I believe that at some level you too are shaping yourself, and just like the world benefited because of these fearless sailors, the people connected to you too are going to awaken to realities they have yet to experience. Much love. Blessings be. Quote 32. New hope. It is in the morning, that beautiful morning which brings hope in the form of rays through the mist-covered mountains. Those delicate dewdrops which gently tip down from the tree-tops. That bustling downward water stream. The cool morning wind which rustles through the trees. The chirping musical sounds of the birds. All start to unify and play the grand orchestra of caring love that Mother Nature has towards its creatures. It's strange then, that how we miss this calling of truth which surrounds us all every day. So here is a reminder. Just a little reminder. Leave the baggage you carry of yesterday, as today is again filled with a new hope. Much love. Blessings be. Quote 33. A rational existence. It's called influence, or the ability to turn one's thinking in a certain way. And the most common form is the media. With its power of propaganda, it can convert a lie into the ultimate truth and vice versa in a jiffy. Critical thinking, self-analysis and research are the only tools one must depend on when faced with mass mentalities. Remember, a crowd of people, no matter how large, need not be reacting to the truth. but to the one who has managed to convince them of it. The path of seeking God also is similar. It requires you to break away from that crowd or herd mentality and approach the subject with critical thinking, self-analysis, and last but not the least, research. The path to God is rational. Much love, blessings be. Quote 34. A basic understanding of self. My understanding about things around, be it pain, pleasure, suffering or injustice, is merely a definition of collective thinking of humans by which at some point, have tuned into by ways of interacting socially with them. Yes, there are instinctive understandings of these outcomes too, but more often than not we are taught to react in certain ways. So at some point when your neurons in your brain are firing up reactionary outcomes to situations, buckle up and question why. A doorway to understanding yourself spiritually is to intervene in the passage of your emotions, not when you are calm and composed, but in the heat of the outcome. Then the sparkle of your pure spiritual energy will be experienced, and you will steer yourself out of the situation with great ease. More later, blessings be. Quote 35. The symphony of harmony. Every little detail in this world is a symphony in motion. Stop the flow of a water stream and somewhere downhill a plant or animal life gets affected, making them change course for survival. Or they might just wither away and die. Our lives are pretty much similar, so to speak. We are either the cause of an event or the receiving end of it. If you are running around in stressful strides every now and then, you are pretty much at the receiving end of events caused by others. Stop, take a breath, understand your place, and see if you can be a cause of your own harmony. A balance within is not that hard to find once we can determine the cause. Mostly, if not surely, we are always reacting to events. Much love, blessings be. Quote 36. A seeker insight. I am sad today, not because someone hurt me, not because I lost something of importance. I am sad simply because I lost a vision of the truth that nothing lasts forever. I am but a mystery myself, walking amidst the deep forest of this world chaos, with only curiosity and love within my heart as a survival kit. Fear can elude me for a while from the truth, but not change my will from seeking it. I shall seek today. I shall seek now, for sadness cannot rule my being forever. Much love, blessings be. Quote 37. Experience the teacher. Change in one outlook only and only takes place because of experience. Not others' experiences, but one own. Experience comes through only the passage of time. For example, I never knew what changes would transpire in my mindset and heart till I lost a loved one. The experience of losing a loved one translated into a deeper understanding of my life, something no book or attending a lecture would give me. So I say this: don't rob yourself of experience and wish only for the good. Radical approach, but in all faith seek emotional strength to cope with the bad experience coming your way. For ultimately the greatest teacher of life is experience, and that's what we are here for. Much love, blessings be. Quote 38. The building blocks of the aura. Do you know what you are? Not who, but what? A little understanding in this realm will unlock a special attitude which you will carry with you a long way till the very end of your life. Our bodies are actually a huge mass of atoms fused together. Atoms which consist of electrons, protons and nuclei, and are spinning at great speed, creating a vibration. This causes an electromagnetic field to be created, which covers our entire body, aura. Then there are empty spaces between the atoms which are being controlled by your being itself. This is the cradle of intuition and emotions. We're in deprivation of love in all its beauty. It can lower your magnetic field and expose you to physical and mental ill health. Protecting this field of energy is actually the most important aspect of your being. Being happy, being content, giving love, harmonizing, forgiveness are the actual building blocks of a very powerful electromagnetic field around you. So keep your thoughts focused on the above and magnetize your being toward perfect spiritual health. Much love, blessings be. Quote 39. The great design. Time, the actual separator between cultures, people and faith. Your birth has been at a specific time and in a specific condition. Your nurturing and education shaped your beliefs. Your personality therefore was designed. Think about it. If you were born a year before or a year after, the conditions would be different. The people in your lives too, just about everything. So if you didn't have control of what time you entered this existence, logic explains it as an outside force, or we deem it as a part of the great design. Everyone, every single person in your life is their cause of this great universal design. Your differences, your interpersonal relationships are all a part of it. Blessed be everyone, and recognize them all as spiritual forces, as souls who entered in this time just to interact with you. Look at them not with the eyes you do, but understand their purpose of being in your life too as a part of this great, immense, Design. Much love, blessings be. Quote 40. The Book of Desire. Desires. Sitting in solitude under a great oak tree, watching the river run ahead of me and feeling the wind deflect from the mountains just beyond, I reflect upon my book of desires, studying every page of it. I notice the similarities in every page, that of the correlation of contentment. Contentment being an experience of happiness. I shut this book, just as I shut out my desires, and question why must my contentment be found in desires? And if it must, why not desire the simply achievable? Why not desire to love unconditionally, give unconditionally and forgive unconditionally? One may disregard and claim the above to be difficult, but compared to the book of desires you hold in your heart, it the simpler way to contentment. Much love, blessings be. Quote 41. A walk outside of you. I tried to remember what all I was thinking and doing yesterday, but I couldn't remember much. So I thought, why not remember every single detail today, watch my mind think, and also my actions, so to reflect upon it tomorrow. Just as I did become aware of my every detail, I noticed how insignificant things have started commanding my being. And there was the answer why I couldn't remember these details. It is because they were insignificant. Most of our lives are spent on mostly insignificant things. These things or actions hold no long-term value. But try going out of your way to bring a smile of happiness to another, and more than the other person. You yourself will start recording those positive happenings you initiated. And these, my friends, are the humble beginnings of a fantastic journey of eternal happiness. Rise above. Much love, blessings be. Quote 42. A reflection of a spotless mind. Just like the reflection in the mirror or on a water body, the human mind reflects your image and thoughts in the way you perceive other people. They may be not that bad after all. It just could be that you yourself have imagined doing the unimaginable if you were in their shoes. Cleanse your mind, cleanse your thoughts for a better correlation with humanity. Much love, blessings be. Quote 43. Know what matters. I am in the loss of words sometime. Though I know what I want to say, the interpretation is what holds me back. Not that one has given up and surrendered. You, in all your knowledge and experience, must also develop the ability to recognize when an argument with someone you love must be put to an end. It is not that you are wrong, but after a point everything starts getting misrepresented, causing more harm. In a loving relationship, the people involved are who must matter most, never the event. Much love, blessings be. Quote 44. Peace and harmony, the guiding forces. Wouldn't it be wonderful, just simply wonderful, if all profits made by the media covering negative events would go to the same families of those very same victims being covered? At least when we tune our TV sets to that TV channel highlighting the misfortunes, we would not just be spectators, but we actually would be helping by watching. For those who don't know, advertisers' cash flow income only go where viewership is most. Other than these, I recommend don't fill your life with negativity just because it's being highlighted. Remember, someone somewhere is making big money on your vulnerabilities. May peace and harmony be your guiding force. Much love, blessings be. Quote 45. Love completes all. The true romantic, with the eagerness of the expression of the heart, holds no pride, nor hide himself behind the veil of materialistic power he possesses. To melt that heart he truly desires, his love, his honesty, his compassion will come to his aid. She will respond, not with her voice, but with her heavenly grace. Her approval will test the waters of commitment and straightforwardness. All she will desire will be reminders of pure love from there on. Man and women were created as a tandem unit. Their unison is meant to be, and not necessary through social statuses but through the invisible force of the heart. There is always a lesson to learn in love, and always, the unsung song will be had only love will complete you. So I say, find it in the heart of another human, or seek it in the heart of God. Much love, love always. Quote 46. On luck. You have all the required knowledge to improve your life. You have this knowledge locked deep in your consciousness. You have tested these concepts subconsciously and have felt a great relief. But you called it hook or just expressed it as having a good day. You, in all your right, are not just a human existence. You are but beyond the pages of this human form. You are a universal entity, a child of the stars. You have the capacity and have read the minds of your foes and friends too. But you acted selfishly only to validate and preserve your egotistical stature. It was when selfless thoughts had overcome your being in that momentarily subconscious spark you experienced a change of luck, and the key to this master lock was divine intervention, which is found with the selfless heart. Only the selfless heart. Much love, blessings be. Quote 47. Being human. What can I say? I need to immerse myself in this life and be human, as they say. Am I still searching this answer to this eternal question? Or do I know what makes me human after all? It not just the ability to learn from our mistakes, I sure, nor the ability to forgive. It is surely more than the ability to love selflessly, I believe. And something also tells me it's all of the above and more. Could being human mean in its true sense a realization that as my human form ceases to walk this planet eventually, I would have actually ripened a greater consciousness of being one with God? And could it also be that all it takes for this consciousness to grow in its ripened form is to put our thoughts to this great universal being at least once every day? I do think of him more than once daily, and it in my ability to do this consciously. And that, my friends, is what I consider a pure definition of being human. Much love, blessings be. Quote 48. A moment in greater consciousness, a being so powerful that it encompasses the entire universe and constantly pulsates with the everlasting breath of consciousness in its entirety, has no single form, no definition of shape or structure. It is revered as the formless, a source of pure love. What would it be to be like him, the formless? Would it be to enhance and stretch our egos to a precision of perfection, or dilute our egos altogether, and try and encompass love and humility, compassion and benevolence just to imitate him? It is said that if you could infuse these qualities in yourself even for a moment, you would never turn back to human consciousness. Just a thought to spend a second in blessings be. Quote 49. The language of love. Language and communication are the most powerful tools that one can hone. The basic language understood by all is that of love. The completion of total communication in the form of love is understood by all as compassion. I always wondered if one understood the language of the smallest of living beings from the animal kingdom around them, would one ever harm them? Much love, blessings be. Quote 50. Awaken into infinity. I shall let my mind wander into the abyss to see if it can reach the helm of creation. I fear not what I may encounter, as am sure to discover probable explanation for fear. Too, the twinkling stars have a story to tell. So does the entire unseen universe, as infinite as it is. In hindsight, there are so many finite things we deal with here in our existence on this planet. A paradox, if I may underline, for we belong to this very same universe, the infinite one. And it's not necessarily a universe but maybe many universes. But what if the finite is the illusion, and the pure connection made with every living atom here on planet Earth is actually an infinite interaction, an endless one? I just saying, that maybe you are experiencing the infinite right now, right here, but maybe not with the vision you are used to yet. Much love, awake, O sleeping one. Quote 51. Destiny and desire. Is it meant to be, or is it in our hands to steer our destiny? Do I have a choice, or should I just go with the flow of things? This debate clouds thoughts of so many alike, but the real answer is much different than the question has itself imposed. Are you in perfect balance or in tune with the spirit? Is real the question. The answer thereof would justify the question. Has it ever occurred to you that what you desire itself is also a part of the grand design, and thus achieving it consciously gives you the sense of being in control of your actions, or carrying that feeling of success with you? This amounts to being in tune with the spirit by itself. Unfulfilled desires is but being out of tune with the spirit, and carrying a burden of unfulfilled desires can never help you get back on track with tuning into the spirit. So start afresh each day. Let go of the old unfulfilled desires and feel the spirit set a fresh desire in your heart. It could be something real small and insignificant, but listen to that voice. Then go with the flow and carry the sense of well-being after you have consciously worked towards it. More later. Blessings be. Quote 52. Find yourself. This is right, that is wrong. Being opinionated, politicizing events, trying hard to impress someone, hiding from truth, making assumptions, then changing outlook, talking of win-win situations all the time, getting angry about issues just for effect, then finding a resolve to make a point. The list is endless. Do you find your personality hidden somewhere in this list? If so, then remember that you have a long way to understand the real meaning of being one with yourself. For as long as you are trying to win people or are being affected by them in some way or the other, finding yourself is close to impossible. What good is finding yourself? Many may ask. The answer lies in the discovery itself. Is it a must to find yourself, as others may ask? For them, it's a definite yes, for they are following dictates of others. To long to know oneself is to befriend a great individual called you. Much love, blessings be. Quote 53. Comprehend the illusion. It has been noted by learned and high thinkers that grief is the outcome of self-inflicted thought patterns. If you possess thoughts of belonging and achievements on a daily basis, Then you set the pace of starting to believe in them more than the universal truth that human life is a temporary physical experience and more an eternal one, searching soul. Concepts like the above, to let go daily and that nothing really belongs to you, and that all is a moving film reel, etc., is sometimes hard to comprehend. But try it. Let your physical eyes be a lens of a movie projector and view everything as a temporary event, and you actually is experiencing an illusion of 3D reality. Much love. Quote 54. Seek happiness. Dear wonderful people, happy, for the feeling is the closest to what divinity each of you possess. It's the outer shell of your soul, that which is radiating life in each one of you. Ask for happiness. Seek happiness. Make another smile and see it reflect in your own image. Strive for this sensation on a daily basis. It's the genuine experience of your own divinity. People who steal away your happiness must be avoided at all cost. And make a mental note of this, that as the constant of happiness will increase, so will the unraveling of the true face of God. Like a giant jigsaw, all pieces will fit perfectly to make sense of a universal truth which surrounds us. Much love. Happiness. B. Quote 55. The asking. Every day I die a little and yet I don't know it. It is not that sudden death which is the obvious you must fear or question, but that which slowly chips away your dreams and your beliefs. You take with you an experience of a day every night when you sleep. What did you gain? What did you lose? What was the reason of pain? Why were you joyous? A life not questioned is actually a life not realized. Much love. Blessings. B. Quote 56. Call it God. There is but so much one can put their attention on. It is but a limited commodity. Trust me. The only problem I perceive is that one is always lost on what to put their attention on. Should one put their attention on finances, or on relationships? Should one go with politics or the current trend of recent events? Or maybe put their attention on the past or future? The list is quite endless, but your capacity to emotionally charge you up or bring you down depends totally on this limited commodity. Think about this. Read what I have posted just one more time, and just surrender and put your attention on something far more worthy, far more beautiful, the real love you are receiving from an unknown source in the form of life, your life. Place your hand on your chest, feel that heartbeat, and thank this force. Call it God if you must. Much love. Blessings. B. Quote 57. The outgrown purity. The pure have no concept of defined dictates, be it of money, religion or nations. They are known in the world as children. You too have been a child at some point. Learn to walk and talk. Learn to think and express. The conviction of your ideology was purely dependent on your exposure to life. But what can't be written in books or taught otherwise is to look within yourself. The uniqueness of you, the torch-bearing capacity of God image lies with you. Your ability to absorb His will and do His will is all summed up in you. In your consciousness. When faced with conflict, be the child. Be that child of God which holds purity in all it thinks and does, and see the resolve sooner than you can expect. Much love. Blessings. B. Quote 58. Manifesting your dreams. I have given up on trying, for if I try, I am able to tell the difference between effort and comfort. And sure enough, I will always seek the latter. To truly follow your dreams, to succeed in all you wish, there has to be no effort. You have to be in pure harmony and tandem with your dreams. You have to synergize your energy with that of your goal. You have to live it first by believing you have already attained it, and somehow the giving force, the spirit of life, will always bring you there. Much love. Blessings. B. Quote 59. Benediction. A good wish is also a blessing. A silent thought which transforms another's energies. Wish along then. You too have that power to influence another. Your good thoughts for another might just improve theirs, and in this grand circle of life be rest assured that the same energy will find its way back to you. To receive love is to give it first. Much love. Blessings. B. Quote 60. The healing from within. There are so many ways to see things I have understood, and it is applicable to every event in our lives. The more closely you look at a disturbing event in your life, the more reasons for it come to light. Because of the event, if you hurt on the inner for longer than required, one must revisit the event mentally and view it from all angles, apply all reason once again, and conclude to blame no one, not even yourself. And this, my friends, is called healing from within. Much love. Blessings. B. Quote 61. Dream your way to knowledge. Staring at the night sky, watching the billions of stars gaze down at me. The light from them, which has taken billions of years to reach the earth, to reach me for this moment, just for this moment. So I can't help but question this expanse, this infinity. this creation. I have asked and ask again, where did it all begin? Why did it all begin? Neither my intelligence, neither my beliefs nor my borrowed knowledge from another can truly convince me of the answer. The spirituality embedded in this grand design are like fancy jewels which you still have not been able to put a value to. Therefore I close my eyes and surrender to deep slumber, and dream a dream with this great satisfaction that I too am a jewel, and the reason I live is because of the will of this great expanse dream. Blessings be. Quote 62. The high thinker. High thinking brings other important characteristic to your personality, which by default improves your social skills and blends you seamlessly with self-confidence and compassion. What is high thinking? It is your ability to work your imaginative skills to such an extent that you find hidden meanings of divine love behind each event in your life. More later. Blessings be. Quote 63. Letting go. Letting go is an art mastered by some, and in its true sense, has nothing to do with any form of attachment. Letting go is much to do with your ego. That part of you which gets affected. A negative event which may occur always drags you down on two fronts, the exterior and the interior. The exterior gets repaired faster than you expect because time has proven so over and over again. But it's the interior, the self, which one needs to address. Here you are alone and the only guidance is your bitter experience, hearsay of others, and the dictates of social and moral laws. And even though every logic you apply, the solution is to get back at the one who caused the pain. It's letting go which actually gets you the sweet nectar of rejuvenation emotionally. The ability of letting go is exercising your higher self. It is of training it to enter realms which are far beyond the confines of human limitations, your true spiritual world. Much love. Blessing be. Quote 64. The power of imagination. If we all died yesterday and were born again today, and if it happened collectively, no one would notice, so explains logical thought. You in all your greatness possess an incredible two-edged power, that of love and the other of imagination. We speak of love and experience it in our own way. Imagination, on the other hand, is quite left to the explanation of textbooks and physiologist interpretation. But the power to transform, to give shape to, heal, and seek the higher consciousness all dwell here in the imagination of an individual. You have survived the chaos and fear many times. So now let's try and imagine yourself alive today and every day, which obviously isn't too hard. But now imagine yourself close to God as you read this. Imagine yourself in all the beauty and grace you wish to and uplift yourself. Imagine your way. Much love. Blessings be. Quote 65. Evaluation of my purpose. Been seeing this world, and not with just my eyes. I have felt the pain, but not just superficially. I have understood the chaos, and it's not just with my mind. The imbalance around is being caused by unprecedented greed, lust, vanity, anger and detachment. And somewhere the machinery is a much undaunted selfish approach to everything around you. I therefore resign from this human self every once in a while and seek a better outlook to life. So in my solitude, when I am by myself, I evaluate a higher self, go by my own path so to break my own limitations. I shall rise above, I sure, for I have come here to survive not just physically but spiritually too. Much love always. Quote 66. Money and fame. I have nothing against successful people, but I just wish that those who consider the successful keep their views to themselves. For somehow it highlights the loser/envious quality in them. If you really want to appreciate another person, then please do search for a certain quality in them which is beyond only or fame. In reality, the above-mentioned only and aim are byproducts of being in the right place at the right time. If you ever view the circle of life closely, you will agree to what I mean. Much love. Blessings be. Quote 67. True love for another. What do I deserve? I asked myself. How much of my existence do I owe to another? I ponder away. The ones that truly deserve to be where they are today are always humbled by their loved ones. This is because it's the smile on the face of a loved one which is cherished more than any riches can ever adorn. And the one who truly loves and loves the one, shall never weigh the happiness as against the gold that one gives, but would hold the highest regard for the time spent together. Much love to the deserving ones who value time above all else. Quote 68. Intellect and consciousness. The study of spirituality arises from more of a need to experience of in its purest form. The intellect which scavenges books, pays close attention to lectures by great masters, or indulges in fasting or prayer, is still working its way to control the mind and its responses. Consciousness, on the other hand, is what lies just beneath the intellect and just above the soul body. The soul body carries the information of the entirety, the omnipresent and the omnipotent. and can never be comprehended by the intellect, only experienced by the consciousness. This divinely pure place, namely your consciousness, can be and only be accessed through feelings of pure love for oneself, and selflessness for others. The word for this is universal love. If ever you seriously want to study spirituality, you have to inculcate universal love in your being so you can tap into your pure self. More later. Blessings be. Quote 69. To give without asking. There are times one needs to awaken to a proper social order, especially when things do not seem to be so. But the game of blame changes nothing. What really will work wonders is the acts of kindness, which we will do unto another and compel the one receiving to believe it was done for nothing in return. Difficult, yes, but to bring about change in a social system, each one of us has to make a difference. A little difference. So what are you waiting for someone to be kind to you first? The domino effect starts only when acts of kindness are embarked upon by you taking the first step. Remember, you are also a force the world has to reckon with. Much love always. Quote 70. Transcend time. Those that have passed this world are permanent memories. The living are just memories in progress. All is but a grand timeline of memory waiting to take form as a temporary reality. Those eventualities which will get embedded as permanent fixtures in the annals of time. So look past the horizon of time once in a while, and let your true energy tune itself to the universe. This is that energy which gave you an existence here in this world. Do the unusual, break the monotony, spread the desire to love unconditionally, and be a part of the grand change of consciousness, that which has already started to take form through select sources, you being one of them. Much love. Blessings be. Quote 71. The awakening. As the day passes and as the time flows into an eternal abyss, you move ahead in spiritual quantum. You left behind your experiences for others to learn from and made place for the inexperienced to take birth where you once stood. Birth, childhood, youth, middle age and old age has little to do with numbers. On the contrary, these must be used as yardsticks to measure up in God's kingdom of eternal life. Pride not yourself with youth. For every second there is but another younger born. Fear not the unseen realm of death, for eternity has always been by your side. Awaken, awaken, awaken. You are but on a timeless journey of love and life. Much love. Blessings be. Quote 72. The internal jigsaw. Most, if not all, have a vision of the world they prefer to believe in. But truth, more often than not, is far from our systems of belief. But established belief systems work best for most people. So where and how can truth ever have a chance? It is said that the interpretation of the word love is man's greatest fallacy. It is a convenient means to an end, or a start of comforting thoughts. And this should never be understood as love. This ambiguous emotion is mostly the reason for man's depression. Search it not in others therefore. For the greatest act of love starts with the acceptance of one unlimited self. What then is your limited self? It is that part of you which feels incomplete without another person in it. Like an incomplete jigsaw where the fitting pieces are in another person's hands. Accepting your limited self and completing the jigsaw within, through God's love alone, is what should complete you. For you are never incomplete as long as you welcome the divine power in you. And that is the complete truth by itself. Much love. Blessings be. Quote 73. The point of surrender. When it is said, and it resonates aloud in your inner being that all belong to thee. When it is proven beyond doubt. And when in your own moment of silence you know that nothing lasts forever. Why does the fickle mind resent it, and find pain in these same very words? Could it be that your consciousness has not matured enough? Or could it be that you yet have to learn the real meaning of surrender? Surrender includes your pains, your problems, your insecurities and doubts. Along with every possession you claim yours to the Almighty. Blessed are those who remind themselves of this truth every day. For being of the glory of God is always right here and right now. Much love. Blessings be. Quote 74. The opportunity of the seeker. It is the falsification of deeds in the name of righteousness and assumptions of success, which have created impregnable bubbles of ideologies. The rest who consider themselves unsuccessful, different, radical, or for that matter, plain observers to the happenings around them are indeed the blessed ones. This is because a vision far greater than what is known is being matured within their inner being. Seek not the external. Just learn to look within, into your own uniqueness. Much love. Blessings be. Quote 75. Earning happiness. In one of my talks I was asked by a student which attitude is the best to attain for a quicker spiritual realization. He was quite amazed when I suggested that do away with competitiveness, and instill helpfulness instead. But I will lose my edge if I do not compete, he replied. I asked him then if he knew as to what lengths he is allowed to stretch himself morally to attain success. As far as the law permits it, he quipped. Amazingly, when I asked him what he was doing in my lecture, he replied that he was finding more ways to succeed in life, and thought maybe spirituality could help. For all of you who think that spirituality will give you a successful life monetarily, let me assure you it's not necessary. But yes, the happiness which is attained from opening up to a greater consciousness has no comparison in terms of happiness attained from material possession. That's why it is said the more money you equate your life to, the more the difficult you will find to relate to pure happiness and joy. Much love, blessings be. Quote 76. A clean mind. That first step, that little internal spark to do something. That's something more than you normally would do, requires a clear mind. Thoughts lead to action. Action leads to reaction. If you want reactions of your deeds to be positive in nature, if you want prosperity, health and good wishes from the people you interact with, then remember that all it takes is your mind to feed your consciousness with good thoughts. Keep your mind clean and no harm will come your way. Much love, blessings be. Quote 77. The abundance of love needs are very different from desires. But the greatest problem of today's world is that we can't tell the difference between the two. Our society has created a blanket of illusions and made it compulsory for one to strive beyond one capacity, so as to fulfill his or her desire. This is what they equate to happiness. But in all this, we forget the basic need of oneself, that which is called love, to be loved every moment, and to have so much in abundance that because you can't contain it that it starts to flow outward towards the others you interact with. This basic need is overlooked, and in doing so, man has let his mind be void of it for so long that other passions of the mind, such as anger, lust, greed, attachment and vanity, have found their abode in the comfort of the mind. The mind now defends these passions by reminding itself, so what? So do others behave in the same manner. Or the classic one, I am only human. So beware when you justify the passions of your mind. Remind yourself that you need to seek love first to cleanse yourself, and then literally embrace the pure human consciousness. And a birdie has told me that on the path of seeking God, you will find abundance of love in every step you take towards Him, and He awaits you with open arms. Go forth now. Much love, blessings be. Quote 78. Suffering and pain. Your wardrobe consists of many garments. Even though you may have a favorite outfit, you don't wear that every day. Similarly, our life has many faces, our nature, and our many moods. If you ask me personally, then even in our weakest hour we worry about many varied things, and never just one. In this dynamic world, situations and things have a way of changing faster than the process of thought. It is wise therefore not to brood or be upset on the same issue for too long. For when we do so, it is called suffering. Suffering is when the mind locks itself upon a single problem, and blocks one completely out of life. This is much like losing your keys to your personal wardrobe and wearing the same outfit all throughout. It is therefore in your hands to come out of suffering. For in the quest for God knowledge, suffering is considered optional and pain inevitable. Much love, blessings be. Quote 79. Emotional and mental nourishment. Feeling emotionally well and mentally fine also forms an important part of your overall daily diet. Ask yourself what you take every day for an emotional supplement and mental supplement. Never thought of it? Well, then, read on. Emotional and mental needs are very delicate in nature. These needs reside deep in your heart, quite locked away from the outside world, and from your own conscious mind too. But sometimes, and for no reason at all, you find comfort in things you do or certain people you interact with. This then is the daily supplement for you. This is what you need to devote some of your time to. If you are not finding comfort in the things you do or in the people you are with, you are depriving yourself from mental and emotional nourishment. Don't say it's not possible or give reasons otherwise. This life is yours and yours alone. Before you give your precious time to others, become a gracious individual by nourishing your true needs. Much love, blessings be. Quote 80. Finding contentment. People complain and wish life gave them a second chance. They wish and even sometimes pray for it. But I have known many who even haven't had a chance at all. All it takes is to look around you and watch closely, and you will find so many who have never been given a chance. So, never complain. Finding contentment is opening your heart to love. Much love, blessings be. Quote 81. To let go. When we need to understand the logistics and workings of pure spirit, that which resides in all living and non-living, viewpoints lose their meaning. On the contrary, to understand the workings of the spirit, we need to let go of all that binds. You see, The mind which is supposed to serve you in this life like a slave to your being, has found its way to becoming a master and in charge of everything about you. So, as long as you want knowledge of the Spirit, you will not be able to comprehend it with the workings of the feeble mind only. The best way to letting go of the iron chains which your mind has bound you in, is by acceptance. Accept everything about yourself and the life around you. Soon you will feel your heart fill itself with love, and will then start to experience a sense of extreme well-being. This is when the pure spirit of pristine knowledge and wisdom will flow into you. Much love, blessings be. Quote 82. The reciprocal love. We let ourselves get pained by others. It's never the other way round. Look closely at yourself. Why are you the way you are? Here is what I think. You, with all your intelligence and righteousness, have overlooked that simple facet to yourself, that which is love and trust. This is actually the joker in your pack of cards, metaphorically, and you tend to play it with every hand of yours. Love and trust are those special things which you have been blessed with. The more you use these, the less you will possess of it, that is, if it is not reciprocated. So use this God-given quality wisely. If you want an abundance of this sweet nectar, use it to love the Supreme Being unconditionally. God reciprocates tenfold. Much love, blessings be. Quote 83. Time traveler. These are one of the most volatile timelines in which we all are in existence, where one faces ups and downs in every facet of life, be it financial, emotional, or the ritualistic guidelines of society and culture. But extremities are actually opportunities, because it is only in the experience of the extreme, in which you shed the cover of comfort of your thoughts and viewpoints. It is also in the extreme conditions of life where you actually judge the spiritual qualities in yourself or in others. Everything on this spiritual journey within your physical life is related to discovery of self. The sooner you realize this, the easier will it be for your consciousness to comprehend that you are actually a time traveler of a distant future, just reliving the excitement of discovering yourself and your connect with the Supreme Being. Much love, blessings be. Quote 84. Mysterious ways. I have heard many a complaint that have been so good. Why do bad things happen to me? The fact is that the goodness within you should never be looked on as a reason for you to be rewarded. For the workings of goodness is purely to open up a new dimension in your thinking about why the things are the way they are. It is the elixir, the sweet energy required to read the workings of God, and in doing so coming to realize His abundant love for you along with His creation. Be patient when faced with adversity, because God's ways are mysterious, but never against you. Much love, blessings be. Quote 85. The five-pointed star. When we say peaceful, we are actually referring to being in total balance and in total control of our feelings. These feelings get rocked very often, nearly every day, on some issues or the other. I urge you therefore to look at your life like the five-pointed star. Each point measures the same from its core and is in equal distance from the other point. Now understand that each point represents the different priorities of your life, namely, 1. Family. 2. Career. 3. Health. 4. Finances. 5. Personal relationships. They should be given equal importance, even though at times one may need more attention than the other. Remember that if any one of these priorities takes up more of your time or your mental thought patterns, then the others will get affected, and a domino effect will cause you to lose balance, and therefore peace. Also, don't take any of these for granted either. Let the five-pointed star within you shine bright. Remember that if one point is not working out the way you wish, the balance four are still there to shine bright for you. Much love, blessing be.